Okay, now we're going to talk about how can we use these postulates and theorems in proofs. So the big idea for today is our given is that two lines are going to be parallel to each other. We are telling you from the get-go that those two lines are parallel. So we're going to see a couple snapshots of little proofs. So on the first one, our given is that line M and line N are parallel. So we could go mark them with the little arrows. And I don't know what this is, angle 5, angle 2. What is the relationship between angle 1 and angle 2? Well, angle 1 and angle 2 are corresponding angles. Because we know that those lines are parallel, we are allowed to say, oh, those corresponding angles have to be congruent. Angle 1 has to be congruent to angle 2 by the corresponding, I'm going to change my font because that's aggressively large, by the corresponding angles postulate. Because those lines are parallel, those corresponding angles have to be congruent. Okay, next scenario. We are telling you in the given line Q is parallel to line R. So these lines are parallel. What's the relationship between angle 3 and angle 4? Well, angle 3 and angle 4 are alternate interior angles. Because we know those lines are parallel, we know those alternate interior angles have to be congruent by the alternate interior angles theorem. That's the reason. Because the lines are parallel, because we know the lines are parallel, we're allowed to say that those angles are congruent. Next one. Line A is parallel to line B. That's our given, that line A is parallel to line B. Then we can look and see, okay, what's the relationship between angle 5 and angle 6? They're alternate exterior angles. Because we know those lines are parallel, we can say that angle 5 and angle 6 are congruent. That is the alternate exterior angles theorem. Because the lines are parallel, first we know the lines are parallel, then we can say that those angles are congruent. We're only allowed to say that those angles are congruent if we know that the lines are parallel. If we don't know the lines are parallel, we cannot say that those angles are congruent. We have to know the lines are parallel to know that those angles are congruent. Okay, then finally, in this last scenario, we're telling you in the given, okay, G and H are parallel. We know G and H are parallel, so now we can go look and see, okay, well, 7 and 8 are same side interior angles. If those lines are parallel, those same side interior angles should be supplementary. So because the lines are parallel, then we can say that angle 7 and angle 8 are supplementary. Not measure of angle 7 plus measure of angle 8 equals 180. Notice, I'm spelling it out in words. Angle 7 and angle 8 are supplementary, spelled out in words, by the same side interior angles theorem. So because I told you the lines were parallel, then we were allowed to say that those two angles were supplementary.